Hey everybody, it's the 13th Wolfman, and you know what? With all the sit-downs that I do, I've had an opportunity to talk to a lot of independent and some well-known and some unknown horror icons. Well, a big one came across the desk the other day. I got a chance to interview Michael Berryman. It's a phone interview, so there is no video. But take a watch anyways, because I get to talk to him about a few things that I don't think anyone really talks to him about. So do me a favor and check it out right now. Yeah, one of your first movies, if not your first movie, was Doc Savage, the Bronze, just Doc Savage, Man of Bronze. That's what it was. Can you talk a little bit about how you got the part for that?
Yeah, I'd be delighted to. Yes, I was back in Los Angeles in Santa Monica, my hometown, after I left college, and I had a little gift shop, kind of an arty-farty store. Local artists in Venice Beach would, hang their stuff on the wall, and we were just kind of hanging out for about 6 months before we closed our doors. But my neighbor had an antique store that was owned by the husband and wife. And the husband was actually the son of George Powell. So I got to meet George Powell one night. He was at the store, and he walked up to me and he said very nicely, he goes, "Are you an actor?" And I go, "No, I'm not. Why do you ask?" And he says, "Well, you have an interesting look, and I'm casting for a movie called Doc Savage." And I had read the books when I was a kid, and they were great, great escape. Little novels, and he said, "Yeah, I want to do The Man of Bronze, and I think you would fit the role for the coroner that did the autopsy on Doc Savage's father, and you get to reveal the the mystery illness, etc." And I go, "Well, that sounds like fun." I said, "But I'm not really an actor. I'm actually getting ready to homestead in Alaska. I want to maybe be a nature photographer." And he said, "Well, here's my card," and he hands me this card, and it said Warner Brothers Studio, and just by looking at the card and seeing his name again, I became like kind of a fan geek, and I said, "Wow, you did The War of the Worlds and The Time Machine and The Journey to the Center of the Earth." Some of my favorite movies. And he just said, he smiled, and he said, "Well, thank you." He said, "Just call my office and we'll have a meeting." So I did, and about 2 weeks went by, and I got to work at the Harold Lloyd Estate and deliver the autopsy information to Ron Ely, who was playing Doc Savage. And it was a wonderful, very campy but well produced film. Matter of fact, I understand that all of George Powell's films are being re-released in a I guess it would be a producer's special edition. So if your fans or listeners aren't familiar with George Powell's work, I highly recommend him because he was really cutting edge, a super nice guy.
Very cool.
Yeah, I actually am a huge fan of George Powell's. The one you didn't mention was When Worlds Collide.
Oh, yes.
The other thing is that this is more like a confirmation. I've always heard the rumor that it was because of Doc Savage that you got the role in The Hills Have Eyes. That Wes Craven discovered you from that movie.
I think that's true. I think Wes saw George's movie, and he was aware of me, so to speak. But I got a phone call from my agent, who was a gentleman I got. I had to have an agent when I had to have a meeting with Michael Douglas and Saul Zantz and Milos for Cuckoo's Nest. So that being said, it was just a matter of time before somebody would give us a call. For instance, Wes Craven. So yeah.
So I'm kind of curious. I mean, you've been making movies for well over 40 years now, and like Kevin said earlier, a lot of them great movies, dramas, horror, sci-fi, whatever. What's the one movie you have the fondest memories making?
Well, the fondest, of course, is Cuckoo's Nest, because I worked 127 days, and I learned what the camera does, and I learned what all the people on the set do, and how an actor that understands that can benefit the production and get your day's work done. And to just watch people like Jack Nicholson and Brad Dourif and others emulate and become the role. It's just a delight. I would have to say that, comedy, Weird Science was delightful. Oh gosh, there's so many roles. Even the music videos, Motley Crue, Smoking in the Boys' Room, a total treat. And sometimes you get a really, really cool part, like when I got to be in the X-Files on season 3, Revelations, where I start off as being possibly the bad guy. I am actually a guardian angel and die in defense of saving a young boy from being destroyed by a devil. So to play against type again is always appreciated, because we all get typecast one way or another. So again, I'm happy to hear that Kane is getting the roles that he so richly deserves. But I would say Cuckoo's Nest, Highway to Heaven, X-Files, even Star Trek was a hoot. But every role I take on, I give it its own special, what it deserves. So there's a doctor in Arkansas named Jesse Burke who's made a couple of shorts, and there's one called One Please. You can Google it. I'm the creepy ice cream man that comes to suburbia, and your children purchase an ice cream from me. The only problem is that it requires one of your parents' fingers. But it's silent. It's just brilliantly done. There's a lot of independent films coming out that I'm getting involved in, and that means that we have generations of new storytellers and filmmakers that are very, very talented. And the more the better. There's a company called the Alamo Draft House. They're popping up all over the country. They have a couple multi-screens, and they also have good brew. Choose Your Brewery, excellent food, and they have film festivals that are just so worth going to. You can really see a wide range of creativity. It's a lot of fun. I'm shooting a little film called Midnight Devils in Texas first week in December. But Salem Horror Fest is the next one, and then after that, there'll be a film festival in Catoosa County Film Festival in Tennessee. That's the first week in December.
And also check out that George Powell producer set that's coming out. Again, like Michael said, he made a lot of really cool movies, including Doc Savage, Man of Bronze.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. George was way, way ahead of his time, and it was an honor to have worked with him. And being George Powell always asked me, he said, if anybody ever asked you how you got started, you say this. You say, this is Michael Berryman. I'm telling you, I was discovered by George Powell, and that makes him, he's upstairs smiling right now.